Hello, when you're watching Phone Arena's in-depth video review of the Motorola CLIQ XT for T-Mobile. It actually sports a similar name to the Motorola CLIQ, but as you can see from a design aspect, it's a completely slate form factor. We'll see if this device has some similarities to the Motorola CLIQ and how it differentiates itself from other Android-powered phones out there. It's definitely not the prettiest device out there, but the CLIQ XT utilizes a lot of design elements found on similar touchscreen phones that rely on the slate form factor. Now, the materials that they use for the rear is this soft touch black textured material, which does a great job for giving you good grip in the hand and also prevents any smudges or scratches. You could actually remove it and use the purple colored one that's also found in the packaging. It mixes well with the chrome bezel outlining the device, and it's surprisingly longer and wider than the Motorola CLIQ, and obviously it's a little bit thinner and a little bit more lightweight, so it doesn't really become too noticeable in the pockets. The Motorola CLIQ XT has a 3.1-inch LCD screen that has a resolution of 320 by 480 and support for up to 262,000 colors. And we gotta say, just like the Motorola backflip, it's a wonderful display, very vivid, very crisp. At the same time, it's also quite responsive. We didn't have any issues viewing it in pretty much every lighting condition. Right below it, you have your physical hardware buttons, which are actually built into the surface of the front. You have your menu key, your search, your home, and back. They're quite tactile and responsive. And the middle button here is actually a trackpad, which you could use to navigate on the device. It's very responsive and very spacious, and when you press it down, you can make a selection. On the left-hand side, you have your volume rocker, which is pretty adequately sized, and the micro USB port. On top, you have just the 3.5mm headset jack and also speakerphone. And on the right side, you have the dedicated camera button, lock and unlock. And on the back, you have the 5-megapixel autofocusing camera with LED flash. When you remove the back cover, which is a little bit difficult to remove, you'll have access to the battery, SIM card, and also micro SD slots. Now, the Motorola CLIQ XT utilizes the same MotoBlur interface found on the original Motorola CLIQ. It's really neat because it integrates a lot of the social networking aspects into the home screen interface here. Instead of running separate applications, like for example, if you want to read the news, it doesn't have to run a separate thing. You can just read directly on the home screen, so it makes it a little bit less cluttered. As far as the performance goes, sometimes it could be a little bit choppy or laggy, especially when there's a lot of background applications running. But overall, the Android 1.5 experience is pretty much the same as we've seen already in the Motorola CLIQ. Now, we got to admit that the Motorola CLIQ XT provides probably one of the better messaging experience out there. You have the option of either using the swipe keyboard or the stock Android one that you see on here. Now, not only does it offer a really great predictive text option, but at the same time, when you couple that with the responsiveness of the on-screen keyboard, it works really well, and we see ourselves speed typing really quick on here. In addition, it has stuff like being able to actually put the cursor in a specific area by holding down the screen. Even using the landscape keyboard, it does a really great job of offering a seamless experience in typing. The Motorola CLIQ XT offers a lot of surprises in its web browsing experience. First of all, it has support for multi-touch, so you could pinch to zoom in or zoom out. It works really relatively well, and scrolling is pretty smooth for the most part. In addition, it also has support for flashlights, so YouTube videos will play within the window. If you press the bottom right icon, it's going to give you a page overview where you can move the window to a specific area and let go, so it zooms in. The only thing that we noticed was that the web browser doesn't automatically resize the text to fit the width of the page, so there's a lot of scrolling left or right to read it. Other than that, it works pretty good. In trying to differentiate itself from other Android phones, the CLIQ XT offers a connected media player which is powered by TuneWiki. Not only will it display the song title and also the artist, but it'll also download the album cover directly to the phone if you don't have it. On top of that, you can see that it's displaying the lyrics as the song is playing, so a very neat feature. As far as sound quality goes on the speaker, it's kind of mute, kind of neutral, didn't have any power to it, but then again, it didn't crackle too much when it was set to the highest level. Running the same video interface, this experience is pretty much intact from the other Motorola devices we've seen of late. Not only will it play videos in portrait mode, but it'll also do it in landscape. Pretty instantaneous, and there's no lag in the video whatsoever. They look pretty crisp, very solid, and again, a very enjoyable experience. The CLIQ XT utilizes the same camera interface that we've seen already in other Motorola phones. Now, the way you take photos, you slightly press down the shutter key for it to automatically focus and press it all the way through to take the shot. As far as image quality goes, we're really impressed by the level of detail in the images that we took. At the same time, it also had pretty good colors. When taking videos though, we can't say the same just because it has a maximum shooting resolution of 320 by 480. It looks a little bit pixelated and colors are a little bit on the bland side. Calling quality on the CLIQ XT was a decent experience as voices were distinct and clear on both ends. Unfortunately though, the only thing that we noticed was the speaker was kind of lacking in power, so it made it somewhat difficult to hear our callers. When we switched to the speakerphone, we noticed voices to be sounding a little bit more high-pitched than we liked, but really didn't deter us from using it. When it came to battery life with the CLIQ XT, we managed to get approximately 15 hours of continuous usage, heavy usage actually, before it died out. Unfortunately, it did not meet the one-day expectations that we were hoping. As far as signal strength, it managed to stay connected to T-Mobile's network with no problems at all here. Seeing that the CLIQ XT is actually Motorola's first completely touchscreen device available in the US market, they did a pretty good job in offering a really decent experience. It definitely separates itself from the Motorola CLIQ in a lot of ways. Not only is it great for a messaging device just because of the relatively responsive rate of the on-screen QWERTY keyboard, but there's a lot of neat features that make it stand apart from current crop of Android phones. So if you'd like to learn more about this handset, you could read our in-depth review, and for all the latest specs, news, information, you could check us out at phonearena.com.